YouTube, what is good, everybody? I know a few hours ago I was doing a live stream for fantasy football, but now I am doing a live stream giving you all my predictions for the AFC West. The AFC East. So without further ado, let's get started. So we're going to be talking about the New England Patriots first, and then we're going to go down the road. We're going to go down to the other teams. So without further ado, let's get it started. Let me just share my screen real quick, and then we'll get it going. All right, share the screen. Whoops, wrong one. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. All right. Here we go. All right. Okay, so the New England Patriots. As we look at the depth chart, this is a week before the NFL season officially starts. We have Jacoby Brissett as the starting quarterback. We have Ramondre Stevenson as the starter with Antonio Gibson and the second team. JaMycal Hasty as third string. Kendrick Bourne, Demario Douglas, and Jalen Polk are our starting receivers with KJ Osborne, Tyquan Thornton, and Javon Baker are the second string. Tight end, we have Hunter Henry is starting with Austin Hooper as the second string. And then we have the offensive line. I mean, we have Chukwuma Okafor. I think that's how you say his name. Cole Strange, David Andrews, City Sal, Mike Onwenu. I think that's how you say his name. So that's the offensive line. And then the defense, it's a crapshoot. We have Keon White, Davon Godchach, whatever. I know I pronounced his name. Yeah, just a bunch of names I never heard of. Jabril Peppers, Jonathan Jones, Christian Gonzalez. But yeah, new head coach. We have what's his name? I forgot his name already. Wow. Freaking spam. That's crazy. But y'all get the idea. Hold on. I don't know what's going on with ESPN's website, but it keeps popping up these ads, which is weird. Let's go back to the depth chart. We're just going to use our lads. That's right. Gerard Mayo is the head coach. So, yeah. This team right here it's a rebuild. Like, it's not that hard to see. They suck. This is not a talented roster. This is not a roster that you're going to be like, yeah, we're going to win. Like, no, this is not one of those rosters. With all due respect, I'll say this season is really about protecting Drake May, making sure that he doesn't need to be out there unless he has to. I do like Demario Douglas. He has shown some signs. Javon Baker was getting it going earlier in camp, but then he eventually just, I don't know. I don't know what's happened afterwards in camp, but he's sort of gotten a bad rap with the coaches, and he's now second string with the wide receivers. But that could always change. Jalen Polk, I expect big things from him. I've seen him do some amazing things in the training camp, so I expect a lot of things for Jalen Polk. But everybody else, I mean, it's a crapshoot. The running back, Ramondre Stevenson, he hasn't been good since like 2022. Yeah, it's one of them years where if you're a Patriots fan, just look away. The only bright spot you have is really Drake May if he starts during the middle of the season, because I think this team is going to be very good. The defense is not that talented. It's really a rebuilding year. Like, they got rid of everybody. They got rid of the old regime. The only, there's a couple players from the old regime, but ultimately they're trying to start fresh. Although Gerard Mayo, he did play for Bill Belichick, but it seems like Gerard Mayo is taking a bit of a different approach than Bill Belichick. So, Yeah, not much to say about this team. I mean, it's not going to be a good year to be a Patriots fan. They I don't even really need to talk about anything else because it's not really much I need to discuss when it comes to this team. So we're just going to move on. We're going to go to the next team on the list. I want to go to the Buffalo Bills. Let's see here. Now the Buffalo Bills, they've had a lot of movement this offseason, losing Stephon Diggs. They lost their starting center, I believe, Mitch Morse. He went to the I think he went to the Jacksonville Jaguars. We talked about him a few weeks ago. Those are two big losses. They lost Gabe Davis as well. That's another huge loss. So you lose your top two wide receivers. You lose your starting center, who's pretty decent for you. I mean, he went to the Pro Bowl in 2022. And now you have to reshuffle the wide receiver core. I mean, you bring in Curtis Samuel, you bring in Keon Coleman, you draft Keon Coleman, and you who else did they get? Let me look at this depth chart. You still have Dalton Kincaid, you still have Khalil Shakir. He's probably going to be your number one if Keon Coleman can't get it going. You brought in Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Mac Hollins. Yeah, this team, the offense it's not very dynamic. It's not that talented. I mean, Khalil Shakir showed flashes last year that he can be dynamic, but in a full-time role, do you really trust Khalil Shakir? It's hard to say. I can't really give you a definitive answer on that. I do like James Cook. I think James Cook is a tremendous running back. He can do a lot of different things for you. He can catch out the backfield and he can run. He's not a between the tackles guy, but he does have a a great acceleration. He is a phenomenal athlete in itself. And then obviously Josh Allen. We already know with Josh Allen. He's Superman. He is a top three quarterback in the NFL. So yeah, I think one of the big bright spots with this team, I will say, is looking at last year, once they fired their OC and brought in what was it, Joe, what was it? I forgot his name. God damn it. He was the coordinator for LSU for LSU. It was Joe Brady. Joe Brady. When they brought in Joe Brady, they weren't much of a vertical team. It was more so intermediate, short. They were really asking Josh Allen to be more of a manager, a game manager, than necessarily a gunslinger. When it came to guys like Dalton Kincaid, guys like James Cook, like he was really I hate to use it, like taking what the defense gives him, obviously, but he was being more of a point guard, being more of a game manager than just somebody that was gunslinging all the time. That's why Stephon Diggs, his production went down. He was spreading the ball around. I think that's a better phrase to use. He was spreading the ball around and he was utilizing the tight ends a lot more. Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, and he was utilizing the running back in James Cook. I think this year they're going to continue that theme. My only problem with it is the lack of wide receiver talent and the speed on the outside. How are they going to be able to separate consistently? Because you don't have Stephon Diggs anymore. I mean, he wasn't the fastest, but he was fast enough, and he was a great route runner. Where are you going to find that production on the receiver position? I do expect them to go more 12 personnel. I mean, more two tight end. I do expect them to run the ball a little bit more. I think you have to utilize James Cook a lot more this year compared to last year. Who was the backup running back? I forget who was the backup running back for them, but they're going to have to utilize James Cook a little bit more this year because of just the lack of talent on the wide receiver position. I still expect them to win some games. My thing is that the defense, um, Matt Milano got injured. That's one of your better defensive players. He's up there in age. The defense is starting to regress a lot more. Just looking at some of the defenders. I mean, Ed Oliver is a quality pass rusher for you, defensive tackle. Daquan Jones is okay, but I mean, Rasul Douglas, he's a quality corner, but I want him as a slot corner, not as like just opposite side. DeMar Hamlin as your free safety. Christian Benford, like Taron Johnson. Like I'm looking at this defense and I'm a bit concerned. There's not a whole lot of talent on this defense. They've lost a bunch of pieces. This seems like a lost season. I'm not going to say they're going to be trash because they have Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. But from a talent perspective, I just don't see it. Von Miller, he's up there in age. Like, I'm looking at Von Miller right now, and he's on the second team for a defense and he's getting paid all that money. They're going to have to make something out of nothing because this defense is not talented at all. The corners are not good. You lose your best 2 safeties, Micah Hyde and Justin and Poyer. You lose both of those dudes. It's not looking too good for the Buffalo Bills. I don't expect them to do a whole lot this year. I think I'm gonna save it for when I pick. I'm gonna save it when I rank the teams. But this doesn't look good. This doesn't look good at all. Let's go to the Miami Dolphins. Let's go to Miami Dolphins real quick. Let's see here. All right. Oops. Hold on. All right. Okay. So, Miami Dolphins. Wait, this is the Patriots. What the hell? Wrong one. My bad. Wrong one. Let's see what we got here. Miami Dolphins. Here we go. Here's the depth chart. All right. Miami Dolphins. So, as we all know, Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, you have Raheem Mostert, you have Devon Achane. We already know that. You have Terron Armstead, you have Robert Jones, you have Aaron Brewer, you have Liam Inchenberg, you have Austin Jackson, you have the tight end is Jonnu Smith. Tight end position could be better. You have Raheem Mostert, you have Devin Achane, Jeff Wilson, Jalen Wright. Defensively, pretty solid. Calais Campbell, Jalen Phillips, Jordan Brooks, Chop Robinson. They drafted Chop Robinson. I really like that pick. I really like Chop Robinson. Kendall Fuller, Jordan Poyer, who came from the Bills, Javon Holland, I like Javon Holland, Jalen Ramsey, obviously, and I don't know about these other corners. So the defense is pretty solid. I like the defense. I don't think it's going to be bad at all. Is it going to be better than last year? I don't think so. I think it's going to be a little bit worse. But offensively, I think they're going to still be great. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, Tua Tagovailoa, and you have Mike McDaniel as the head coach. I think this team is going to be electric still. I think this is the year where they need to win a division. They need to have home field advantage. This is the year because the Buffalo Bills have their worst team since Josh Allen's second year in the league. It's that bad right now. They're not that good. So I expect big things for the Miami Dolphins. I think the biggest thing with Miami is Tua Tagovailoa. Can he get this team over the hump? Because a lot of it has come down to your quarterback play. Against the Chiefs, it was freezing cold, but you couldn't get the job done. Even though the defense at times was doing their thing, you need to write some checks. You need to cash some checks because right now, this team is handicapped because of you. You're not bad. You're not trash at all. You're a starting caliber player. You're a Pro Bowl caliber player. But if you want to reach Super Bowl caliber status, you need to elevate your game. And I think with Tua this year, because he lost all that weight and he got paid, don't be surprised if Tua comes out and he looks just completely different. I'm talking about like from a standpoint of, oh, he's ready to go. Like he's putting up monster numbers because he slimmed down. He's back to like his college weight, I think he is. So he's more mobile. Last year he was like big and stocky. This year he's more mobile. He lost a bunch of weight. He's skinny. The concern with that is injuries, because when he was skinny, he would get injured a lot. Last year was the first year where he played every game and he was healthy towards the playoffs. This year, we're going to see if he can stay right, even though he's a bit skinnier. But now he can move around a lot better. I wouldn't be shocked if Tua comes out and he's a lot better when it comes to moving in the pocket or moving outside of the pocket, being a better improviser. Because I think with Tua, the past 2 years under Mike McDaniel's system, he has been just a pocket passer. He doesn't want to move outside of the pocket much. Well, against a lot of the teams in the AFC, you're going to have to make something out of nothing. You can't just be good in structure and then trash out of structure. Like, you're going to have to do both. And I believe Tua is going to improve in that area. I expect big things from this team. Yeah. Let's go to the final team. Let's go to the New York Jets. The New York Jets made an enormous amount of moves. Like, crazy amount of moves. All right. So, New York Jets depth chart. All right. Let's go to our lads. All right. Here we go. So, New York Jets, baby. Is this the year? Aaron Rodgers is finally back. He's healthy. Hopefully, he doesn't get injured on his 4th snap in the regular season. So, we have Garrett Wilson, who's an absolute stud. You have Mike Williams, who's always injured, but could be a potential nice option for the New York Jets if he stays healthy. Tyron Smith is the left tackle. He's been hurt these past 5-6 years, but he's an all-pro. He's one of the best left tackles in the game when he's healthy, and he's a future Hall of Famer. And then they draft the offensive tackle out of Penn State, who's also really, really good. So even if Tyron Smith gets hurt, you still have the rookie first-round pick as a fallback plan. So that's good. Then you have other guys on the offensive line that they brought in. Elijah Vera Tucker, he's pretty good. Morgan Moses, he's okay, but you could always do better than Morgan Moses. I will say it's night and day, the offensive line. The offensive line is considerably better than what it was last year. Oh, my God. That offensive line last year was atrocious. This year, I expect a lot more from them. Tyler Conklin, he's okay as a tight end. Aaron Rodgers, we already know Aaron Rodgers. Breece Hall, like, come on out. Breece Hall, he's a freaking stud. I had him on my fantasy team. The dude was making something out of nothing with a trash O-line, a trash offensive scheme, and arguably the worst starting quarterback in the NFL in Zach Wilson. Now he has Aaron Rodgers back, and he has a better offensive line. Braylon Allen, they drafted him. He's like 6'3". He's humongous. He's going to be good for them. Then the defense, like the defenses. Oh, my God. What can we say about the defense? I mean, Jermaine Johnson to Quinnen Williams to Javon Kinlaw to Quincy Williams to C.J. Mosley to Sauce Gardner to DJ Reed. Bruh, they're all good. They're really – I might even talk about the second string. Will McDonald, the Solomon Thomas to like, oh, my God. They got some dudes on that defense. And I'm not even I haven't even mentioned Hassan Reddick, although he is holding out right now, and it's very unlikely that he comes back to the team. But even if he doesn't come back to the team, this defense is loaded. They are absolutely loaded. I expect big things for this defense. Top 5 defense in the NFL. Man. Here's my thing with the Jets. Nathaniel Hackett. What is this offense going to look like with Nathaniel Hackett as the OC? Now, Nathaniel Hackett, he came from the Packers, but as we all know, Matt LaFleur runs that show. Yeah, he was with Aaron Rodgers, with Matt LaFleur, but Matt LaFleur runs that show. And Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers, they're the ones that are deciding what plays to run. Now Nathaniel Hackett is the one overseeing the offense, and he's going to Aaron Rodgers. How is this offense going to perform? I don't know. But what I will say is that I trust Aaron Rodgers, be it he's 40 years old, be it that he's coming off of an Achilles injury. I like the offensive line. I like the weapons on the outside. I like the running backs. I got to trust Aaron Rodgers on this one. All right. It's time to pick the teams. So, for me, number 4, I'm going with the Patriots. I think the Patriots are easily the worst team in the division. It's not even close. The offense, the defense, it needs a lot of work. I will say that the receivers, there is potential with the receivers. I like the Mario Douglas. I like Jalen Polk, Javon Baker. You never know. But overall, this is a rebuilding year. They're not ready to compete yet. And hopefully Drake May can sit a year and not have to start for this team, because the offensive line, if you saw the preseason, it's not that good. Number 3 on my list, I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. I just think they lost too many pieces. The defense is getting older. The offense is a work in progress. I mean, the receiving core is not that talented. It's Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman. You lose Stephon Diggs, a Pro Bowl caliber receiver, all pro caliber receiver. That's a huge deal. You lose Gabe Davis as well. It's a lot of reshuffling on that offense. And with Joe Brady at the helm, he did a fantastic job last year, but now he has some work to do, because there's not a whole lot of things you can go to when it comes to this offense. I like Josh Allen, but you can only do so much when your team isn't very talented. So I'm gonna go with Buffalo at 3. Number 2 on my list. This is where I'm conflicted. This is where I'm very conflicted, because I like the Jets and I like the Dolphins. I'm gonna go with oh my god. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. I just think they're a good team. They're a very, very good team. The defense is relatively good. I like the talent on defense. Offensively, they're obviously elite. Like Mike McDaniel, what he's done for this offense, what he's done for Tua, has been nothing more than sensational. Tyreek Hill is still an amazing player. Jalen Waddle, when he's healthy, he's an amazing wide receiver. The running backs, all of them are really, really good. But I'm gonna have them at number 2 and not number 1. And I think it's because of Tua and his inability to win big games. I look at some of the players on that offense. I'm afraid they might get hurt during the middle of the year. I'm talking about Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert, maybe even Tyreek Hill with a hamstring problem. I'm concerned that they may be a little bit brittle. So I'm gonna go with Miami at 2. And number 1, I'm gonna go with the New York Jets. Although Aaron Rodgers is coming back from an injury, although Nathaniel Hackett is a question mark as the offensive coordinator, I just look at this roster and it's just they're loaded. Every position they have somebody. Like the wide receiving core, it's not terrible anymore. It's not just Garrett Wilson. Like they actually have Mike Williams. They have other dudes that they can throw to. Tyler Conklin is a decent tight end. You have Brees Hall, who's an amazing running back, in my opinion, who can do a lot of different things in the backfield and as a pass catcher. The offensive line has significantly improved. And then you look at the defense, it's just loaded. It's just a bunch of dudes everywhere. I would be shocked if the Jets don't win the division. The only way the Jets lose the division is if Aaron Rodgers goes down with an injury. I just can't see them losing. They're just too good. And if either Aaron Rodgers goes down with injury or Aaron Rodgers has fallen off of a cliff and he sucks now. I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is washed. So I'm going to go with the Jets at 1. All right, that'll do it for my AFC East predictions. I hope you guys enjoy this. We will be now going to the other live stream where I'll be talking about the AFC North, and that is the best division in football. So swing on over to the other live stream, and I will be talking about the AFC North. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.